Keys was saying, if you folks want to see that no one left behind incentive, let's get it met now. You do not want to miss this. Right now, we are sitting at just under 4,500 left to go. And that is in no small part uh, thanks to this donation from Klondike7, who donated $1,000 and says, Mass Effect was my best friend's favorite game. This donation is in his honor. He passed earlier this year due to COVID. He got me into gaming, and MSF is doing great work to prevent his tragedy from being repeated. Go GDQ. Absolutely 100%. Alrighty, and I am now getting the word that we are ready to go with Blaidan and his run of Ghostrunner. Take it away, Blaidan.
All right, what's up, guys? My name is Blaidan, and I present to you Ghostrunner. This game just came out recently, so this is the first showing of it at a GDQ, so I'm super excited to show it off to you guys. I'm the top runner for the 90% inbounds category, so you beat the game as fast as possible while staying in bounds. Though inbounds is kind of subjective, we'll talk about that later. But more importantly, I'm joined by my lovely couch today. If you guys would like to introduce yourselves.
Hi, my name is Blade Lamau. I also speedrun this game, and I moderate for the speedrun.com board for it.
Hello, I'm bryonato. I ran this game a ton back on release and way back in the demo days, and I also helped moderate it. Thanks for having me, Blaidan.
Hi, I'm Dragon Tears Zero, and I am also one of the top runners in the game, and I also am a community speed race coordinator, so we host races, and it's really cool to be here.
Yeah, we are all super stoked to be here. Ghostrunner has undergone a ton of work since it came out last year. And Blaidan is like seriously one of the best at this game. We're super excited to present it to you. Keep in mind that it's gonna get going really, really fast. This game moves at like a visceral pace. So just be ready for that. We're gonna do our best to break it down for you, but it's a super sick run. And in that note, Dragon is gonna give us a quick plot rundown too, just so we can get that filled in before we start.
Yeah, and just real quick before we get started on it all, the main lore of the game is it's basically a first-person cyberpunk ninja game set in a post-apocalyptic world where they have a tyrannical leader named Mara who wants to genetically enhance humans to survive the outside world, and the architect, our little buddy here, leads us to defeat her by climbing up this big tower they call Dharma, and we're trying to aim to protect the last bit of humanity. So that's the general gist.
Cool.
Yep. And one quick thing before we get into it, I want to get a check on the sword choice instead of. So, which sword are we going to be getting this run?
Absolutely. Taking a look at that incentive, we are doing the Void Dragon Surugia.
Nice.
Yes.
Wise choice, my favorite. All right, so let's get into it.
So there's going to be a short cutscene, and then time will start. So we're not going to be getting the sword instantly, but Blaidan will be going out of his way to get the sword later on. So it's going to be an in-game pickup that we get. This is the infamous unskippable cutscene at the beginning of the game that every runner has watched way too many times, and this poor sod that just dies instantly.
Every single time.
So time is in 3, 2, 1. All right, and so we're off. Welcome to Ghostrunner. This is a very fast movement-paced speedrun. It is a parkour FPS game, so we're going to have a lot of movement options at our disposal pretty much right from the beginning. The way I like to break down movement in this game is I describe it as Celeste in a 3D space in terms of how kind of our dash interacts with us here. So the dash is indicated by that little bar beneath the middle of the crosshair there. And we don't have a double jump, but we do have that dash. The dash can go in really any direction depending on where our camera is facing. So we can use it to extend horizontal distance through the air, or alternatively, we can use it kind of as a double jump when we go through. It's going to be very important to us staying nimble because this is a one-hit kill game. If we get hit once, we die. The dash facilitates what is the most important movement tech in this game. You'll probably see that Blaidan is just flinging himself all over the place, and you're probably wondering how exactly that's happening. So, if you saw at the start, we also have a slide when we press crouch, and we have a dash on top of that.
First
So
level,
if,
by the way.
yeah, that's the end of the first level, by the way. On to the second level. So if we dash and then hold crouch and slide and then jump, as you can see here, this is inbounds, by the way. We're able to preserve all of that momentum when we jump. So we dash, slide, jump. That is known as a DSJ, which is named for the order of the inputs there. So you dash, hold crouch to slide, and then jump. That was another one right there. We're halfway through the second level, by the way. Halfway through the second level. So that is your super short, or that is like the super condensed rundown on some of the most basic tech in the game. In this instance right here, we're getting introduced to the architect, who you've just heard Dragon talking about at the start. He's the AI that's going to be guiding us. And we get introduced to the cyber void segments of the game.
In the cyber voids, you're actually stripped of the dash that we just got in the last level. So it's going to be all slide hopping and ledge boosting off of ledges that we can barely see. It's pretty rough, but Blaidan's very, very good at it, and he has a lot of practice. So this is going to go by very fast.
Look at these ledges. They're all like super blocky. And playing your R is pretty tough.
Oh. Yeah, we use coyote time on these ledge boosts. It's a pretty gracious amount of time after. You've heard it said in lots of other runs already, so it's our only form of movement in here. We don't like cyber voids very much. We like to go fast, and dashing is fast.
Cyber voids do offer us some more things in the game, like they give us some story, they introduce us to some cool gimmicks, and there's some cool puzzles as well. But this one is just, it'll give us a couple abilities that we'll be putting on a little bit later in the run.
Yeah, and so how ledge boosts work are when you are moving and you press crouch, you do get a slight slide boost. And normally when you're on the ground, that friction is going to slow you down there. However, if you do it when you go off a ledge, there's no friction to slow you down, and you preserve that momentum across the entire distance there. And you can use these super late jumps with Coyote Time to cross some ridiculous gaps that you just saw. Now, you're also probably heard Blaidan tapping on his S key right there. That is a tech that is known as S tapping. Anytime that you see him moving backward through the air, he is rapidly tapping S to increase the speed cap when he moves backwards. And that'll allow him to get a lot more horizontal distance. You can just hear him mashing it right here.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
almost cleared
super
it.
far.
Almost cleared it.
and so how does that work exactly? Like every time he taps it, he gets like someone else can explain it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every time I tap it, my backward speed cap goes up. So we just keep mashing it over and over, and we get a tremendous amount of speed. Though it is based on how much airtime you have. So the longer we're in the air, the more speed we build up, and you can get pretty crazy with enough airtime. You'll see later on.
It's
You
really
get
cool.
a big one.
This tech that we're using here is called fast grappling. As you can see, these blue grapple hooks. There's a little bit of an animation. He takes out his hand, throws a rope to it, grabs it, and pulls himself toward it. If you actually slash the second you click the grapple button, it actually cancels that whole animation and zips you right to it, and lets you keep a little bit of momentum afterwards as well.
And you can see how many grapples we've already done this level. Every fast grapple he does saves around like a quarter of a second, so you can imagine
Roughly.
the time save that builds up over the
Across the
course of the
entire
entire
game.
run.
Yeah.
Yeah, this level's called the Climb. It has a lot of verticality to it, especially for one segment that we'll see later on. Until then, though, we have to deal with what are known in certain areas. We have to deal with what are known as kill rooms, which means that we have to eliminate all the enemies in the room to advance. In some areas, like these levels right here, you're kind of or these rooms right here, you're allowed to just kind of fly through, depending on how the devs designed it. I think this is why this level is called the Climb. By the way, I really like this route.
Nice, no TP.
Very nice, very nice. Yeah, and so this segment coming up here is one of the hardest kill rooms in the early game, primarily because our resources are still pretty limited, though that is about to change. And if he gets hit once, he goes back about like 10 seconds, so it can be pretty punishing. That was really sick, though.
Yeah. We saw him AGD, by the way. Do we want to explain AGD a little bit?
I think we can get to that in a sec. Let's talk about this first cyber void, or this cyber void, real quick. So, this is the first cyber void that kind of introduces these little puzzles we have to solve. None of them are really, well, some of them are actually kind of hard, now that I think about it. But most importantly, this cyber void ends up giving us the blink ability, and so blink works about how you might expect it to with the catch. So we're gonna press the ability, and then once enemies are in our sight, we're gonna instantly slash through them, and they all die. It has some other interesting properties that we'll get to later, but also if we're good with the timing, we can kind of preserve our momentum coming out of it. That was really sick, and we can also hit multiple enemies in a straight line. Yeah, and that looks really nice. And we have a tech that's coming up right here, Blade, if you want to take that.
Right here, Blaidan's, as the screen fades out there, he's going to open up his upgrade menu. That glitches out the game. When you load into the next section, it thinks the upgrade menu is still open, and it will give you like a small tutorial. You have to click accept a bunch of times. He actually just did that while he was playing the beginning of this level. So he could menu again, and it would open up his menu, and he could put on the 2 upgrades we have right now, which is a double dash, as you can see indicated by the crosshair. There's now 2 little white lines there. And also a reflectability that we'll see a lot more in the next level, because as you saw just then, we passed all those guards. We didn't need to deal with them at all because all these little garbage chutes were already open for us.
Yeah. And yeah, I guess you mentioned AGGs earlier. AGGs are I guess, a pretty big thing here. Now it might be a good time to talk to it since we just have kind of like a short stroll until we get to the end of the level here.
I think you might want to see this
stroll.
first.
What?
You say stroll, we say fall.
Whoa! Whoa! Bro! Holy cow!
That is the power of S-tapping.
The full
Whoa,
potential.
that's a strat I have not seen.
So we call that the trust fall because, or also the thick chunk is another name that we used to call it, but we call it the trust fall because you spend so much time in the air looking backward to do the S tapping, so you can only turn around at the last second just to see where you're going and
That was
maybe
so
like
cool,
grapple.
dude.
Yeah.
Hello, Jack.
Really
So this
cool.
level-
I love it.
This level introduces us to these SMG wielding soldiers that we're going to be able to, with our ability we just got in the last level, reflect their bullets into other enemies that are like across the room and stuff to really finish out these kill rooms fast.
I put together some gear.
Coming up here.
Once I
It's really cool. We don't use the reflect a ton, but in these early levels, it is crucial.
I'll be able to monitor.
Super
Save
nice.
several crucial seconds.
Super nice.
That was so good. Those reflex are like not super hard, or not super easy to time as well. You can get an
Yeah.
upgrade that makes them easier, but until then, you really have to aim them. It's definitely manual aiming for a lot of those deflects.
It's very easy to mess up, very easy to die. Uh-oh.
And these lasers here will kill you most of the time. Right here, we
Most
really
of the
gotta
time.
dodge them.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just wall run on them because they don't exist, I guess.
Something
Same
we
with
should
lava, apparently.
Yeah. Something we should probably mention, since it's going to be becoming more and more important, since the kill rooms are becoming more and more frequent, is the abuse of instant resets. You'll probably notice a short teleport anytime, like right there, that Blaidan finishes a room. Basically, once we finish a kill room, the game instantly resets a checkpoint, and most of the time, it's usually right at like the end of the room where the door is. So we're going to kill all the enemies and then hit the instant reset button, and that takes us instantly to the end of the room. It saves an enormous amount of time over the course of the run, and it's not always useful, but most of the time it is.
Hey, Brian, what's up, dog?
This is an up dog. So an up dog is a tech that we use where if we were I'll come back to that actually, because I need to talk about this really quick. This game moves
Agreed.
so fast. These little power-ups that come up right here. So this game introduces what are they called? The uplink modules.
Yes,
yeah.
avoid uplinks.
Yeah.
Slow-mo.
And these ones in particular slow down time. We will be introduced to other ones throughout the course of the run, but this one is here to allow us to navigate through these fans that would otherwise be moving too fast. We don't always need the uplink modules to be able to get through the fans, which you'll see coming up very shortly.
By the way, remember how I said lasers don't exist? Yeah.
That's so sick. Plus the deflect, get the other one. Yeah, dude. Oh my god. That's so good. Yeah, so Blink has some other properties, or I guess all abilities do, where they can, Blink in particular can send you through walls that would otherwise kill you, and can also kill enemies that would otherwise, not die due to a shield, or would take multiple hits to kill, like a parry for whatever reason, which again we'll get to later. Yeah. And so here's that, I did mention that we don't always need the slow-mo to come up with the fan, or to pass through a fan. The day this skip was found was a very good day, because right there, you can just sneak through the hitbox, there's just a gap in it right there.
Jack's real short. You can just kind of sneak through.
We're also introduced to these punching enemies that will punch you if you're too close and jump to you to punch you if you're too far. And sometimes it's a little bit faster to have them come to you.
I love this room.
There's a
Yeah,
set
this
Oh,
room is
no.
really cool.
deflect across the room.
Nice,
guys.
nice,
So
very
sick.
good.
Nice.
You can tell which ones are the jumpers by the little kind of like orange mohawks that they have. You have to look
Yeah.
closely, but yeah.
We also kind of call him Doomfist because they got a little bit of like gauntlet going on.
Yeah.
Thanos type deal.
Vibe.
Yeah.
Doomfist, Thanos, one of the things.
This
They
one's got a
punch,
really
they
nice
don't snap.
deflect.
Yeah.
This room is a pain. Always has been.
Nice.
Nice, dude. Yeah, and now we're approaching the next Cyber Void segment. This Cyber Void is not going to be one that is going to allow us to gain any new like abilities instantly, but we will get some new some new what would you not abilities,
Upgrades,
but
I guess.
upgrades.
Yeah.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
it's like
The word
upgrades,
has
upgrades,
escaped
swap.
me. I appreciate that.
There's a whole voltage meter thing. It's a big deal to go into, but it's mostly lore and uplink module stuff.
Cyber Voids can be fun. They're a nice break for this super fast-paced run, honestly.
Yeah.
This
Watch
one's going to give
things
us
spin.
a pretty important upgrade that is going to allow the power-ups that we picked up on the ground to go a little bit to last a little bit longer. And that's going to be really important because we're going to be using one of those power-ups to skip an additional fan. So this is definitely an unintended use of this power-up. This is probably my most proud find for this entire run in the short time that I ran it, and I love that it is still being used. It saves around 8 seconds. We'll see if Blaidan can execute this, because the timing on this, it's tight. You have to have really nice movement through here.
Not to mention, it's just super clean when you get it.
It does look really pretty.
Oh, it's not even gonna be
Oh,
close,
perfect.
dude.
I know,
Perfect.
that
Nicely
fan right
done.
there.
Yeah, that second, yeah.
Oh,
Nice
but he
save.
missed the
Nice
AGB.
save.
Yeah. That second fan was the one that you have to really extend that to get to, so that was really, really sick.
These pistons, you're supposed to go out of the way to press a button to stop them. You can just go over them. Right here, you're supposed to make a bridge. You can just go over them.
Yeah.
Why use bridge when you can jump far?
Yep.
So now, Blade, I think I can tell you what's up, dog. So, if you notice at the start of every single level that has an elevator anyway, Blaidan's going to look up and then jump and then hit a dash right when he hits the ground. This will give you additional vertical momentum as you go upward, and it saves a couple seconds on every single elevator ride. So you'll see the up dog right there. That's the up dog.
Very nice. We're also introduced to these shield enemies. They have a little bit of animation to bring up their red shield. You can slash them while it's coming up, and it'll still kill them right through their shield. And it's really nice. Also, a really cool skip coming up here.
I love this strat.
That is
Perfect.
called a hack jump. Anything that is
so
highlighted in yellow, you can hack and change what they're doing. Right here, these wheels, they can slow them down, speed them up. Here's another one.
Right out of strat right here.
Very nice.
So close.
Saved
Nice
it.
recovery,
Good
dude.
cycle.
Good save.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this is
this
a
level's
very
road-
challenging level.
Yeah, Road to Amida, the name of this level. It introduces the hack gimmick. We're not going to see it too much after this, but we will see it again. It also gives us the Shuriken uplink, which gives us a ranged ability. One of the only ranged abilities that we'll have, I think, really at all in the run.
Yeah. I
Other
mean,
than
there are
reflecting,
others,
kinda.
but we don't talk about them. Don't worry about it. There's a lot of things that just don't exist in this run, it would seem.
Oh, that's a good thing to mention. There's these little like blue shields that some enemies have. Just about every single ability can go through those blue shields. Usually you have to like take out a little shield battery somewhere else to get the shields off of them, but your abilities go right through them sometimes. Or all the time, sorry.
People with limb implants like me.
Yeah. And so here's a pretty cool usage of the Shuriken right here. We're gonna use it as we go right here to throw it at these two enemies right there, which is gonna give us more focus. The focus meter is indicated in the bottom left corner. That basically tells us when we can use abilities, and we get more focus by killing enemies. So you can see we built it up with those Shuriken shots and killing those enemies to use the blink at the very end. It's really, really nice.
And we're actually coming up on the Cyber Void here, and it's pretty much just a couple more hacks till we get there.
Yeah, this Cyber Void is pretty challenging on your first playthrough, but once you know what to do, it's a cakewalk. So I think we have some time for
Yeah.
some of those things.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I was gonna say the first part of it is pretty chill. So if y'all are done talking for a bit, yeah, we could definitely take like 2 or 3 donations here.
Fantastic. Professor Shinobi donates $25. A haiku. As a shinobi, a sword is not your best tool. Not getting shot is. Donation goes to support Mass Effect 2 so everyone lives, unlike my attempts to play Ghostrunner. Make us ninjas proud, Blaidan. Tipsy donates $10.
Hey.
Shoutouts to the awesome and loving Ghostrunner people. So happy to be a part of this wholesome community. Love you all. Good luck for the rest of the run.
Thank you, Tipsy.
Looks like there's a little something extra in
It's
the
these,
I think I got time for one or two
speedrun.com
more.
mod.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're good for one more.
partial Ghostrunner neural scan.
Well, I'm Commander Shepard, and this is my favorite marathon on the Citadel. This goes to the No One Left Behind incentive. I should go. And that is courtesy of Pixel Bear, who donated $250. And just to do a real quick check-in, we've got just over 2K left to go. We can do this.
Nice. Get it. Let's get it.
Okay, that was
About the
super
fast
sick.
cycle.
Very nice. Yeah, so while that donation was being read out, Blaidan was just flying through this cyber void. This all runs on a global cycle, and to get to that elevator before it's going up and being able to mantle on that, you have to play very nicely. And if he's going fast enough, he'll be able to hit the second part of this perfect cycle, and he's killing it right. Let's go, dude. Oh,
Nice.
nice,
So
dude.
nice.
That's so sick. That is so
Perfect cycle.
That is literally like one of the hardest things to do in the whole game, to hit the
I
cycles
agree.
like
It
that.
is so hard.
Yeah.
One extra mantle and it's gone. Period.
Yep.
Yeah, very, very well done. This level comes at you pretty fast. This is known as Run Up. It's a very short level and is kind of the run up to the first boss of the game, known as Tom, which anybody that played this game casually will remember. Before we get to Tom, we are going to meet some other robotic enemies first, known as the Walkers. They're these big walking mechs that have really gnarly tracking abilities. Sorry, I got a little bit distracted there. They have really gnarly tracking abilities, and we have to move really nimbly to dodge them.
They're a pain.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they can
there
be
they are
really
right
rough.
there.
Payback, just chop their legs off.
If you caught the run at the Ghostrunner run at ESA earlier this year, you will recognize this strat coming up. This is a strat that was found by one of our longtime runners, Trey, who actually did the ESA run. Nice. Oh yeah, so we should talk about
Perfect.
Tempest.
Nice.
Kill.
Right. So we got an ability that lets us deflect stuff.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Tempest. Tempest, that exists, by the way.
Yeah,
And
we
this
got
is
a little
our first
distracted.
boss.
There's just so much going on so fast.
Yeah.
But this boss actually is Tom. This is our first major boss of the game. We actually have a really, really intricate way to get up and get around all these lasers. And you have to kill these little cords up at the top. There's actually three phases. And yeah, we just kind of skip. And we actually hit the second hitbox first, thus skipping the entire second phase and teleporting us straight to the third phase. So yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
you'll
that's
watch
Kind
something
of
it.
intricate. I mean, it's
Okay.
quick.
There was something very bad that could happen there, but it did not happen.
Yeah,
thank
you could
goodness.
get
Thank
soft
roll for
locked.
that.
If you do the skip, you also skip. There's supposed to be loads of lasers right here, and all these things you have to dodge. Doing that skip to skip the first phase or the second phase, it completely gets rid of the lasers, so you can get right up to Tom, break those batteries, and move on to the next level.
Very nice Tom skip. That was found. This was like a day 1 or 2 skip that was found by one of our Chinese speedrunners in the community. So very, very cool.
Fun fact, by the way.
Yeah.
Fun fact, you can actually... Tom is the only boss you can kill multiple times.
It is true. You can kill Tom multiple times.
So mean.
Hey, listen, he's got lasers. That's mean.
Yeah, so just to backtrack just a little bit as well, we did pick up another ability known as Tempest. You saw Blaidan use it when he was deflecting, so it can deflect bullets, but also it kind of acts as a shotgun blast from the hand. And what Blaidan is going to do right here, we're introduced to a new
Big
uplink that
jump.
gives us a super jump, is we're going to add a modification that extends the range, and if we get a multi-kill, it gives us our ability back. So we jump all the way across, kill the 2 enemies at the end there, and are able to advance to the next room. Super, super sick. So this multi-kill refund upgrade that we just put on Tempest is arguably the most broken upgrade in the game. Anytime that we kill more than 1 enemy with Tempest, we get it back instantly. And you've already seen some of the power of Tempest demonstrated. Another hack jump here. Nice.
Very nice.
Super nice. It's a
So you
double
can see
for
how
one.
powerful that is. Yeah.
It looks like you're just spamming it.
The hand. It's almost kind of like a force.
Cold alert, I just got a gold on that level.
Nice.
Oh, no.
Very, very nicely done.
Your gold was like already like a 51. Jeez.
This level has a very big skip halfway through it, but at first we are do another up dog here, and we are introduced to the samurais. You have to wait for them to come attack you, then parry, and then kill them. There are some
Corpse boost, nice.
other ways to get them. Oh yeah, all the corpses actually have collision. When you kill something, it actually has a chance to fly over to another guard and kill it. But in this case, we were able to use it to boost ourselves up and almost use their corpse on the ground as like a little ramp. to get us up to the next spot.
Not
really,
always
really interesting.
helpful.
Yeah, sometimes
Yeah.
it doesn't work. It's 50-50.
More or
but,
less helpful than
yeah.
helpful, usually.
It's cool looking. It's cool looking.
There's another Tempest refund strat there. If you've been playing a close eye or paying a close eye, you've probably noticed that sometimes Blaidan is doing DSJs or dash slide jumps when he's going off a ledge. This is known as a super DSJ, so it combines the speed boost that you get from a ledge boost along with a DSJ, and it allows you to just reach some really absurd distances. It's really, really hard to time, and it's by far like one of the most important pieces of tech in the run to get good at if you want to be a top runner. And this skip, by the way, is inbounds.
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah.
just don't worry about it. It's,
That wall
we
run right
promise.
there has just skipped like half of this entire level. So many
you can
kill
s-
rooms. It introduces you to these sniper guys. We only see one of them here. He's gone. The level's over.
Yeah, this level was really a pain to moderate, and I mean you can see that wall just takes you from one player area to the next. So, in considering that every single building in that area is wall runnable and usually mostly has collision, that was pretty much fell within the bounds of the rule set that we had developed. So yeah.
This is a
If I
sports
can
cycle, by
jump
the way.
in for just a quick second.
Yeah.
505 Games, the developer of Ghostrunner, donates $505, saying,
Wow.
Blaidan, best of luck on your GDQ run. Thank you for being an incredible member of the Ghostrunner community. We are looking forward to seeing your skills during the Wave Mode beta.
That's awesome.
Sick.
Yeah,
Wave mode's coming
505
out
actually,
soon.
they published it, but yeah, still, thank you very much, 505. That's very cool.
Super awesome.
This level we're
this is an
introduced.
interesting level, yeah.
Oh yeah, we're introduced to our next boss. We're chasing her right now. I said earlier, you don't always have to deflect the samurai guys. We actually just drove that drone into the samurai to kill him, so we don't have to go through the whole parry thing.
Yeah, this level is
right.
called Faster, by the way, and it's also the only level with is basically an auto scroller, so that's fine.
It forces you to slide. It's so slow. It's just,
Yeah, there's some
It's
weird
pain.
weird things. If you actually are pressing a different direction than W when you land on one of these ramps right here, even if you let go of that direction, if you dash, it'll dash you to the side. So we just kind of have to go through that smoothly and nothing too cool. But here we're onto the train. There's a really cool skip coming up. We're actually not gonna touch the little cargo on the right side. We're gonna stay on this zip line and go off of that spot right here.
uh-oh.
Ooh, that was close.
Cool,
What
slip
that
up there,
does,
good.
Very close.
there's
very
supposed
close.
to be some signs coming at you there. We'll see them next right up here, but it actually skips the signs for the first part and lets us jump over a little section, and then it's faster to just not skip the signs for the second part, and that's faster. Very fast level.
Definitely a
Yeah.
small Mirror's Edge shout out there, gotta be.
By the way, that boss we were running at, she's right here. She's basically a Ghostrunner clone. She's a little bit weird looking, kind of smells a little funky. We don't really like her that much, so we're just gonna kind of, as soon as she comes at us, we're gonna turn around and kind of run away.
We're just gonna leave.
Yeah, we don't like her. She's kind of
Skip.
weird.
Goodbye.
This skip is the epitome of like really any speedrun skip. Like, what if you just literally saw a boss and turned around and ran away? That's it.
So
At least we
sick.
put Tom out of his misery. We just kind of leave her.
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
door
just
is
chilling.
unlocked and everything.
Yeah, that
So-
also skips a Cyber Void. That is supposed to give us our third ability called Surge. It's a ranged ability. We completely skipped that because doing the boss skip actually just unlocks the next level. So we can back out to menu, load up the next level because it's already unlocked.
Security is getting
Yeah,
much
we did start from new game, which means that all the levels would have been locked to us. So once we reach that point, the game considers the next level unlocked, and we're able to do that. So it's not just going into mission select and selecting the next one. This level right here is called the Forbidden Zone. This is my favorite level in the whole game. It has so many difficult tricks and skips to it, and it's really, really flashy. It introduces these turret enemies, which as you can see, will lock onto you and kill you in a split second. However, you can do some pretty cool things to try and kind of break their LOS, which we'll see, or line of sight, which we'll see for a strat coming up later. But yeah, this level has quite a few complicated skips that are pretty, I would say, pretty unique within Ghostrunner as a whole. So
I think this level has the most technical amount of skips in it.
Here's the LOS break right there. So we pull the turret aggro off the door, and we're able to get through that way. And then this skip right here, this was originally found by Bloodshot way back in the day, is probably also one of my favorite skips. So we're gonna do a super DSJ, use the blink to hit the drone, and then get all the way across. That skips quite a bit of platforming, super cool. And then out of the frying pan into the fire, we have one of the hardest kill rooms in the entire game right here. Good luck.
And we
Dodge,
have
duck,
our
dodge,
sword.
dodge.
Here it is, the sword.
Dragon
there it
Suit.
is. This is what you
Purple.
donated
So
for.
sick.
Purple sword, glowy. I love it. It's great. I'm actually named after it in the Discord.
Good stuff, by the way. He just shredded through that whole room too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Probably have time for a few donations now. Just,
Yeah, like,
to
at
the
least
platform
one.
at the end here.
Fantastic. Anonymous donates $500. Just played the trilogy for the first time recently and fell in love. I definitely can't let anyone die. Michelle Nubb donates $25, saying, "So happy to be watching GDQ for the 4th year in a row with my husband. Putting this donation towards saving my favorite virtual husband, Garrus. Less than 3."
No.
I love all the Mass Effect love in the donation. It's great.
I'm,
All right.
I'm sad to say I've never played one either. I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. Make sure to watch.
I
We'll
Sam,
forgive
coming
you
up, though.
this time.
Yeah, I have sinned. I'm sorry.
There's another
Super
fan
fan
skip right
skip
there.
again.
Yep, and this skip
Trigger.
is really weird. We're gonna manipulate the trigger for this door right here so it stays down when we go through. I don't know why that works like that, but if you do that little wiggle, that door stays open where otherwise it would be closed, and it saves it saves quite a bit of time. This level right here, Rain in Hell, is kind of the beginning of the final act of the game. It introduces these enemies that the little crawlers there that are literally voiced by one of the developers' pugs, which is excellent. So you heard Dragon talk about Mara at the start of the game. This is kind of her vision for humanity, are these little crawlers right here. She wants to turn everybody into these so they can leave this giant super tower and go back outside. So obviously that's a little bit
No
not
bueno.
good. So we're trying to stop her from doing that. Yep.
It's a little weird.
Casually, they were a huge pain in the speedrun. We don't even really give them a second thought because we can avoid them pretty consistently.
Yeah.
There's some cool things you can do. Like if you just, sometimes if you land on that railing right there, those two that come out will just kind of explode. This Cyber Void, by the way, one of the hardest Cyber Voids because
The
you're
best.
literally landing on pixels on railings, but when you get it right, it's so smooth and it's so nice. It is one of my favorites.
He's making
I
it
love
look
it so much.
way too easy right now.
Way
These
too
are
easy.
these take loads of practice to land and get a nice ledge boost off them. Definitely, this
It's
is
on
where
Top
runs
of
go to
slide
die.
hopping.
It's one thing just to land on top of them and get the ledge boost. It's another thing to like seamlessly incorporate it into your movement and do the flippin' slide boost onto them. That is like, that requires so much precision to hit that consistently, especially in a setting like this. It
Big
is
ass tap.
honestly
S-tap
impressive.
here.
Big ass tap.
Oh,
A little bit of rock climbing.
there we go.
Save,
Nice,
save.
nice, nice.
You can skip
Little
all the
rocky
jump
there.
pads there at the S-tapping. It's pretty neat.
Got a little rocky there for a second.
Yeah, here, this is the most difficult room right here for sure. No
That is
problem.
such a big jump. Yeah.
Nice delayed.
No problem.
And
So sick,
here we
dude.
actually get introduced to the final ability. It's Overlord. It's also where we kind of find out that the architect, aka Adam, if you haven't been able to tell, he's not, his morals are, he's a bad guy. He's not cool. He's
quite tricky to simulate.
Yeah, this ability is
Questionable.
mind controlling people, and you think it's okay. So we're not going to be using it too much. We take advantage of it maybe once, but we're not going to be using this ability too much. It's not very morally correct.
Yeah, yeah. As it turns out in this game, pretty much everybody except for like the one person we haven't talked about just kind of sucks. So
yeah. Some other lore lady.
So the last segment of this run is kind of just a gauntlet of kill room after kill room after kill room that are all pretty complicated and difficult and require a lot of micromanagement and a little bit of improv in some cases, which I think is a really fitting way to end this run because it really is a skill check for really everything that you have to be good at in Ghostrunner. This introduces the that's so sick. Killing that purple dude is really difficult.
Oh yeah, by the way,
talk
purple
about what
dudes.
these enemies are. Yeah.
Yeah, so these are called shifters. They're the purple dudes that shoot out little like red rays They teleport away when they aggro to you, and then they'll try to throw stuff across the map to you. It's not really RNG, but they have some weird places they teleport to that can be different every single run. So you really gotta know your stuff with this game to try to get those guys killed.
Yeah, it's one of the main RNG rooms. That one was.
Yeah.
One of the few.
This level is really hard. It has a lot of kill rooms, just kill room after kill room, and it kind of is a nice combination of all the things that we've learned, all the abilities like the slow-mo, the shurikens, and it's all in one level. And this is a really sick level, I think.
Yeah.
Really good level to just kind of end it all on, yeah.
Yep. Yeah, got a little bit to go after this level's done, but this is really the last, I would say, full level in the game that isn't split up by a boss fight or something like that. So, yeah, this shuriken right here, super important to pick up, even though we're not going to use it really at all. If you don't pick up this shuriken, for some reason, all the other shurikens in the level last like half the length.
So strange.
And the shuriken being a ranged ability is super important to a lot of the kill room strats, obviously. So that was, again, another thing that we were finally clued in on by our Chinese speedrunning community within Ghostrunner. Without them, we probably would not have found out how exactly these worked. We thought it was RNG for the longest time. But you can see with that shuriken right there just how important they can be to some kill room strats.
Right here, there's gonna be like 5 samurai dudes. Like, imagine if we didn't have our Tempest ability to fight these guys. It would be ridiculous, but we can just blow right through them.
I'm sure if you've played this game, a lot of people actually know.
Yeah.
That's not a room you think of Tempest on.
And this
it was
room,
so
too.
rough.
Oh,
no.
So
this
close.
strat's really cool. This strat is really, really
He
cool.
didn't
when
want to
he gets there.
attack. It took forever for him to attack. Yeah, this level, we call this
nice.
Hell Room
Nice.
specifically because it's just getting it perfect like that. He makes it look easy, but it's really, really hard. Pipe strat.
Something else that is really hard is this, yeah. Not only do you have to get a
Really
nice
rough.
DSJ off of that, trying to wall run on those 3 pipes is really hard as well. Oh, we're also introduced to splitters, they're called. They're these, there's one enemy, splits into 5. One of them's the real one. You gotta find the real one by holding down your blink like that. And you can see the one that's not highlighted. And you can also use your ability to just kind of take them all out.
Yeah.
By the way, wasn't that that grapple back there not actually in the game originally?
Yes, that is correct. So after the initial release, there was a hardcore mode that was released for this game that added, more enemies and more hazards and everything to every single level. And so some of the changes that were made to account for that new kind of like platforming that was introduced in hardcore mode carried over into the base game. One of them being like one of those grapples way back. And we'll also see that come into effect big time in the final 2 levels of the game. And we'll be sure to call it out when those things happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, by the way, we weren't supposed to have that shuriken in that room.
Yeah, right there. We brought the shuriken from the room before into the next one to use the shuriken to finish off the kill room. And we're going to do kind of the same thing here. Instead of the shuriken, though, we're going to be bringing this jump uplink to fly us all the way across this room with the big jump and a little bit of S-tapping.
That's a
Really nice.
strat. It is so sick.
It skips a
Who
whole
needs-
bunch of rails.
Yeah.
Yeah, railings are slow. We don't like railings.
And would
You
you
gotta go
believe it?
fast.
I feel like we've been here for like 5 minutes, but
I
we're at
know.
the final boss level.
Yeah, actually, this Mara is her name, if you couldn't tell. She actually has a really, really cool skip. It's essentially we use our ability and also exit out to menu at the exact same time. And it's causing her to T-pose and allows us to actually exit the cutscene early as well as kind of do something funky on our last quote-unquote phase.
Yeah, if,
Really
if that
dope.
sounded confusing, it's because it is. It's gonna
Yeah.
look really, really weird. We'll explain closer to when we get to it. But this is Mara. This is the one of the big bads in the game. She's this Doc Ock looking cyborg person.
She loves jump rope, by the way.
I feel like this fight is probably the result of like just running out of time at the end of the development at the end of the development cycle. There's no real way to interact with Mara. You just kind of have to dodge her attacks and play Simon Says for a bit. It's definitely an unfortunate fight to an otherwise really excellent game. But fortunately, we do have a really a nice skip for the final and third phase. It's gonna look really weird, so he's gonna use his ability and then like pause, and then the level's just over. So you'll have to watch closely because it's gonna happen really quick. Like, do we know why exactly this even happens? Or
Yeah. If you saw the green Tetris block you saw that was kind of in a U/C/whatever shape, it actually extends the blink abilities hitbox outwards, and we essentially use blink at the exact same time that we exit to menu, and the blink will hit Mara and actually do the last little bit of damage. We don't really know exactly why, it just kind of works.
Yeah,
And
the only
it will-
reason, the only reason that this even exists in the full game is because when they added hardcore mode, they let us use our abilities in this room. We weren't actually able to. But blink and you'll miss it. Here it comes.
Oh, whoops. I missed the trick.
Oh no! Redo.
That's fine,
Do
I
over.
think.
It's fine. Usually we
Yeah.
would quit the menu there, but I just gotta watch like this 15-second cutscene.
Yeah.
It's basically a frame perfect skip. It's very hard to get
But-
exactly perfect.
yeah,
She's
so there
dead,
we
and
go.
that skipped her third phase.
Yeah, so what would have happened there is we would have been able to quit to menu about 15 seconds earlier. So it's essentially you got the gist there. And here we are. This is the last level of the game, right here.
This is the monster. We also call it balls. You'll see why in a little bit. This is the only Cyber Void where you actually get your dash, and there's a very cool skip in this. I'll let you explain, bryonato.
Yeah, so this is called the Young Will Special right here. So you're probably wondering, why did he just teleport? What happened? So all these platforms right here are actually on a fixed cycle. So once they reach the end of their travel distance, they'll teleport back to the beginning and start it over again. And if you're standing on top of them, balls by the way, if you're standing on top of them, when they do that teleport, you end up teleporting with them. And we're going to use this a few more times. This was found by a casual player named Young Will, who just came into our community and told us about it.
Big
Oh, by the
skip.
way, nice, dude. Oh, that's another one of the hardcore mode things I was talking about. There's a grapple there that's in hardcore mode that allows you to navigate through there, and it's still present. There's another Young Will special. Shout outs to Young Will.
We got
That's
one
Young
more,
Will
and
with
then
a
it's
U, by the way. Y-U-N-G Will. A
Yep.
true legend, to be sure. This is the hardest Young Will special right here.
Yeah, getting up on top of this platform is not easy.
hardest
do it
to
on
get,
any
but
of
the
these
most
platforms.
consistent, oddly enough.
Oh,
Time
nice,
will
Very
dude.
nice.
So well done,
Time
Blaidan.
like 20 seconds.
And time is going to be coming up here once we reach the end of this cutscene, or the end of this jump at the very end, when the cursor disappears. So, time very soon.
And
You can't be trying to
Time.
destroy me.
there we go. Nice.
There we go.
Good run, Blaidan. Do you have your splits
Thank
up?
you.
Or?
Yeah, that was a 3609. Not
Are
bad
you
at all.
kidding me?
Nice.
That was a 36?
Yeah,
That was so good.
that was actually my old
That was
PB
a
like
good
3
one.
PBs ago. Not bad.
Wow. Dude, what a gnarly run. Believer's getting paid out in the predictions, by the way, like big.
True.
Oh, hey, by the
name is
way,
Jack.
Rise up.
by the way, our name's Jack.
Yeah, that's
We
our
just-
character's name.
I
Yeah,
forgot to mention that.
and that was
We do have
Adam.
a
If you didn't know, the bad guy, the not good guy.
38-35 RTA was just ridiculous, dude. That is such a good run.
That's better than
Yeah, I'm
a lot of
really
our
proud of
runs
that.
non-RTA. Really awesome. Super good showing. That was awesome.
Thank you.
I said awesome a lot.
We can probably do shoutouts now.
Yeah, go for it.
So I started running this game like a month late, and I only got into it because I have a friend named Curtis who originally bought the game, and I saw him play it. Wow, this looks pretty cool. And I watched Blade speedrun it actually. So now this actually looks sick. I got to speedrun this, and then the rest is history. I got world record, and now at GDQ. So it's just an amazing opportunity to be able to be here. Thanks to all you watching, all the people behind the scenes. So thank you to all of you. I'll let you guys see your pieces now.
Thank you, Blaidan, for letting us be a part of this. Seriously, thank you so much. This has been awesome.
For sure.
Yeah, I'm right there in that same boat. Thank you so much for letting me be a part of this. Obviously, the game's first GDQ showing, and you made it like a seriously special one. It's definitely, I definitely got really excited when I saw that Blaidan was going to be at GDQ, this dude came into the community and like just shredded all of our IL records with like these mind-bending strats, and then started running full game, and then just destroyed full game, and then like started winning our tournaments. So
Yeah,
having
honestly
him here,
blows away.
yeah, having him here performing and performing for it when he's like, just undoubtedly, one of the best player is really cool. Yeah, so thank you so much for having us here. Yeah, Dragon, how about you?
Yeah, thank you again, Blaidan, as well, and thank you guys to GDQ for hosting all this. This is a real dream come true. But yeah, if you guys are interested in running this game, by the way, you can find us on the SRC speedrun.com. The Discord is on there. It's a really welcoming community, and as I said at the beginning, I am actually a community event manager. We set up races. We're going to be doing monthly races, so if you want to get used to some of that, we're actually starting up an in-depth guide to help getting new runners up and going as fast as possible, and it's really fun, and it's been such a pleasure to work with these guys.
Oh yeah. Ghostrunner is actually 50% off right now on Steam Summer Sale.
Yo.
So great time to pick it up.
Yeah,
My wallet.
and big shout outs to Dragon Tears. This dude puts a lot of energy and time into this community, so definitely also a pleasure having you on the couch with us. So yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah. GG.
All right, what a fantastic run from Blaidan. I think I stepped out to grab some snacks and blinked, and now we're done. Real quick, we've got a few donations to wrap up here. Mooniversal donates $25 and says, "Loving the tech and movement of this speedrun, the energy of the commentators. Let's keep the hype going and get that no man left behind incentive met. And I can guarantee you now, we have met that incentive and we will not be leaving anyone behind." Semi-QWERTY donates $25 and says, "I just beat Ghostrunner last week, and it's really satisfying to watch a runner demolish a game that I struggled to beat. Thanks for the great run and great commentary, all for a great cause." And lastly, "No one gets left behind or forgotten." Wait, that's Lilo and Stitch. Anyway, let's go to a quick word from one of our fantastic sponsors. Disgaea 6, Defiance of Destiny. Join Zed in his quest to rise above his lowly status and challenge a god of destruction. Along the way, meet zany characters, explore chaotic new worlds, and discover the power of sibling bonds and determination. Available now. Learn more at disgaea.us/D6. Before we go back to Scent for more prizes, let's read just a few more of these fantastic donations. Z, the youngest gamer, donates $400, saying Mass Effect 2 was one of the most impactful and captivating games I have ever played, with deep personal stories and great humor woven through casual interactions and unique missions. Truly a deeply impactful game that we will see very little of because it's about to be absolutely crushed at SGDQ for Doctors Without Borders, and that's great. So happy to see it, happy to catch it, love GDQ and the mission of Doctors Without Borders. Let's go. Commander Shepard donates $500 and says, I'm Commander Shepard, and this is my favorite marathon on the Citadel. And lastly, Super Jamoose donates $50 with the simple message, honk. And now let's go over to Scent and see some more of those awesome prizes.
Hi, I'm Commander Cent, and this is my favorite perler on the Citadel. But in actuality, everyone, welcome back to Summer Games Done Quick Online 2021. My name is Cent. I'm here to tell you all about some of the amazing prizes that you can win by donating from now until the end of Majora's Mask, coming up here in just a few runs. So make sure to get those donations in. Get those donations in to save the crew of the Normandy in Mass Effect 2, which is our next run coming up. And just get those donations in for Doctors Without Borders, an absolutely amazing charitable organization. I was not joking, by the way. This perler is so awesome. Huge shout outs to Megan Duncan for sending it out to us. It is a lovely Majora's Mask perler painting. It's got this cool kind of metallic painted surface. Really reminds me a lot of planets, pictures of like Jupiter and the moon from a distance where they're odd colors and they have these, odd craters and strange dents in them. It looks great. Of course, the Majora's Mask Perler itself is awesome. Fused Bee Sprite. You might notice it's a little smaller than you'd think Perler would in the individual beads. That's because it's done with mini beads, which are, frankly, I think a little bit harder to work with. They melt a little quicker. They're a lot more fragile to handle. But the end result is you get some absolutely beautiful shading. Thank you so much to Megan for sending that out. That is a $25 minimum donation from now until the end of Majora's Mask. And just as a reminder, all of the prizes I'm going to be talking about right now are a $25 minimum donation from now until the end of Majora's Mask. So get in a $25 donation and you're going to get entered into everything I'm about to tell you about. Speaking of perlers, from Count Gooby, we have this absolutely adorable Mario perler, SMB1 Mario Sprite perler. What is not to love? This is the classic image of Mario, fist in the air, legs jumping. What more could you ask for? Thank you so much, Gooby, for sending it out. $5 donation between now and the end of Majora's Mask. Now, how about for some people maybe preferred some PC games as in their childhood? We got this Mist desk mat. Features the entirety of the island of Mist. It looks absolutely wonderful. $10 minimum donation comes to us by way of Fangamer and Cyan Games. Thank you so much to both of you for getting those out here. And it's great. It is a great desk mat. It's a massive desk mat, as you see. It's like my entire wingspan. You got to have a big desk for this, but I'm sure it's certainly worth it. Just gonna stick it down on the ground. Remember, $10 minimum donation from now until the end of Majora's Mask. From Making It Nerdy, we have a set of absolutely beautiful Zelda-themed coasters. We, of course, have the Triforce. You gotta have the Triforce if you're talking about something that's Zelda-themed. We got Zora's Sapphire. Everyone loves Zora's Sapphire. Jabba Jabba's Belly, worst dungeon in the game. Zora's Sapphire, best jewelry in the game. Don't at me. Of course, we got the Kokiri Emerald. That's not the Kokiri Emerald. That's the Kokiri Emerald. There we go. And the Goron Ruby. You get the entire set of 4 for a minimum donation of $15 if you win it. Again, these are wood burnings to make kind of the base and then stain on top of that to make the colors. They look absolutely great. I am just so impressed at the things Making It Nerdy can do with wood, with string, and with fire. And I know you're saying, well, Sent, there's no string in that last prize. That's because all of the string is right here in this amazing Mass Effect N7 string art. Again, it's a little bit hard to see, but if I tilt it on its side, you can kind of see there are 2 string layers here. There's kind of a border made of that black string, and then the N7 logo is actually written in white string and red string indented into the piece. It is super cool. N7, as Shout mentioned earlier, the highest rank that you can achieve in the Mass Effect universe. This is, frankly, the highest rank of string art that I've ever seen. Huge shout outs to Making It Nerdy for sending it out. Again, a $15 minimum donation is going to get you entered into that. So many great things you're going to be entered into with that $25 donation, I'm telling you. So for a $15 donation as well from Ness Paints, we have a couple of absolutely beautiful paintings. That's the Zora Hall upside down. You don't want to do that. All the water is going to fall out, and that's really bad because the Zoras are aquatic. This is a lovely painting of the hall where the Zoras come to play their rock music, because what else music would fish be into? They got a lot of rocks. They love rock and roll. But seriously, it's a super cool painting. Really evocative of some memories of Majora's Mask, which is a game that I feel like is going to stick with me forever. It's a $15 minimum donation sent to us by Nest Paints, and it is lovely. Thank you so much. Now, Nest Paints has also sent us another incredibly memorable image from Majora's Mask with this Oath to Order painting. You know, we have the moment here. Castletown is, under siege by the moon. It's fallen directly on it, but the Oath to Order has been played. The 4 giants have responded, and they are going to hold that moon up and throw it right back into the sky so that Link can go fight the Skull Kid. Absolutely lovely paintings. Thank you so much, Nest Paints. Both of those $15 minimum donations. They are 2 separate prizes, so you could win one or you could win both, and I hope you do because they are amazing. Now, from Sasha R. Jones, we have an absolutely amazing Majora's Mask piece as well. Got to reach a little over to grab it, but it is this Moonrise metallic print. This is a print on a piece of a metal. Just going to flip it around to the back here so you can see. That is just a solid metal sheet and probably annoy Richard, my cameraman, while I do so from the glare. Sorry, Richard, but I can't stop tilting this because it is just so beautiful. I love the composition here. You've got Link staring up at the Skull Kid with the full power of Majora's Mask, transforming into one of the many forms of the final boss. It is beautiful. It is creepy, and it just captures the emotion and style that game really had. $20 minimum donation from now until the end of Majora's Mask. Please make sure to get your donations in. Now, from Esclair Studios, we have this lovely Ocarina of Time shadow box. Huge fan of this. It's a little bit hard to see, but I'll kind of tilt it sideways and maybe it'll become more apparent a little bit there, that this is actually a 3D shadow box. This is done with like layers of paper on kind of different planes. So you have an effect where Link's Master Sword, Hylian Shield, and the Ocarina on the stump are kind of in the foreground, and as you go further and further up and further back, you see, the Deku Tree, you see Hyrule Castle Town, you see the castle, you see Kakariko Village, Death Mountain. It's a super cool effect, and it is a super amazing piece considering, again, this is entirely this is paper. This is paper that someone has colored and made this amazing 3D shadow box out of. That someone is, of course, Esclair Studios. Thank you so much to them for sending this out. I'm going to set that right over there. Now, I can't talk about prizes without at least mentioning our grand prizes. We have 2 amazing grand prizes. Both of them are available for a $250 minimum donation, but that's cumulative throughout the entire marathon. So if you donate $25 right now before the end of Majora's Mask, you're going to get entered into everything I've just talked about. You donate $25 a few more times throughout the marathon, and bang, you are going to get entered into both of those amazing prizes. They are, of course, from our good friends over at Skytech Gaming, this lovely Skytech Gaming PC that is directly behind me. This thing is an absolute beast. You can see all of the beautiful RGB lighting up there on the graphics card and the fans and the motherboard and the RAM. It looks fantastic. It also runs fantastic because it's got a 5800X, it's got a 3070 Ti graphics card, it's got everything you need in a great case, and it looks beautiful. You'll want to win it. $250 cumulatively throughout the event. Of course, we also have an amazing grand prize opportunity from our friends over at Heroic Replicas for their custom heroic replica. You get to choose one of 18 different amazing pieces that they've made over the years. And there's some great options, especially for Zelda fans. You know, you got Dark Link Sword, you got the Master Sword, the Hylian Shield, Fierce Deity Link Sword, you know, that double helix kind of DNA blade. That thing is awesome. The Chris Sword from the Legend of Zelda's cartoon. Not a great cartoon, but a pretty cool looking sword. The Thundercats Sword of Omens, Minecraft Diamond Sword, Lucina's Falchion with its cool curved blade going on there. It is absolutely amazing. You got to head over to gamesdonequick.com, click on the link for prizes, check it out because you're going to be able to see a full list of all of the options as well as a gallery where you can take a look at photos from all of them, as well as some interesting facts about some of those builds as well. Anyway, that is going to be about all the time I have right now. If you're ever curious about the prizes, you can head over to gamesdonequick.com where you're going to find information not only on the prizes, but on everything related to the marathon, including the speed runs that are coming up in the event. Great speed runs like Mass Effect 2. It's coming up right after this segment. Don't go anywhere. You definitely don't want to miss it. The incentives that you can put your donations towards. Incentives like, you know, Nobody Left Behind, saving the whole crew in Mass Effect 2. We want to see that happen, but if it's going to happen, you all have to get those donations in before the end of that run. And of course, all of the amazing prizes that you can win by donating during the event.
Thank you so much, Sent, for another riveting prize segment. I know what I've got my eyes on. Let's go through a few more of these donations. I've got $5 from Dr. Briola, who says, "Can we get a $5 hype train